So here's the gray water, and black water, we're gonna talk about it. So this is, again, going down from here. You're going to unscrew this cap, and you're gonna hook this end of the hose up into here, just the same way that the cap hooks on there. So once again, take the cap off and then hook this in there. And this end goes into the hole wherever you're dumping at, okay? Then you always want to, once you're got all that set up, those two ends are hooked in where they go, you're going to pull up on the black first. Always release the black first, and then you're gonna follow it by releasing the gray water, okay, by pulling up on the handle. And then when everything's all done, make sure you push them both back down, remove the hose from the rig side first, wash it down with water, fresh water, clean it out so that you're not putting the nasty hose back into the compartment. All right. So this is always one where I always get a few extra questions. It can be the most unnerving part of the trip for anyone who's never done this before. So moving on around here. Yes, make sure to put it away and make sure to replace the cap when you're done. And moving here, here's a very important part, especially if you're planning to hook in. Here is the electrical cord compartment, and in this compartment you will see there is right here a plug. So we're pulling out the length of, so right here is a 30 amp plug-in. So if you're using the generator, your electrical plug must be plugged into that in order for the generator to supply power to the RV. So generally, I just keep it plugged in, and then if you're going to plug in at a resort, then and it has a 30 amp power, then just remove it from there and plug it into your external power source. If you are plugging into a home somewhere, this is an adapter. You would plug this end into the end of the rig power supply cord, and then you could plug it into a regular home 110 outlet. Just be careful with what you're running with that. You know, air conditioner pulls a lot of power. You can't use the microwave and the air conditioner. You know, you're limited to what you can do when you're plugged into 110. So just keep that in mind whenever you're plugged into someone's 110 home power. Moving over here, this is the bin. This is actually on the slide out, and this is your propane. So the only time you need to worry about your propane is when you go to refill it at the end of your rental. And then you just pull into a station and they'll fill it for you. There are no self-service propane places. So, but sometimes, most of the time, they remember to turn it back on. But if you have issues, you know, you've refilled, just check the handle down there. And here we go. Just want to focus here for a second. Diesel fuel only. This is a diesel rig, and that's why you get such good gas mileage or fuel economy. So remember, diesel only. One little thing I would like to show you here is this delicate little handle here. This is your cruise control. It took me a while, that's why I like to point it out. So to the left hand side, just push it down to set it, and then like at most typical cruise controllers, up and down to adjust your speed. That's one thing. This here is kind of your backup. Should you completely kill the battery to the cab, the engine battery, then it can use the rear batteries in the house to actually start the engine. So That's there just in case. Nice little feature, so you're not stranded. For locking the door, this too is one of the features here. It's unusual. You push it in and then it locks it. There's also a button in the center. It locks, one or two of them there. It doesn't always lock. For the most part it does. And then you can always lock it with the key from the outside, so multiple ways. I already showed them how to flip. So this seat, like on the other side, does flip around by using the handle. You'll have to make sure that the emergency brake is not applied because it'll get in the way and it won't allow you to spin it. So, but again, just pull this up and turn the chair around. And there you go, it joins the living room. Okay. Yeah, I think we can. Since I have a handy assistant here, we'll go ahead and we'll finish up showing your height clearance. You are 10 feet, about 6 to 8 inches. So I always say 11 feet for total height clearance. So here's your washer fluid, and then here's your dipstick for your oil, and then here's your water fluid. Water fluid, that makes sense, doesn't it? And the handle is on the side, the other side. All right, now we're going to head inside to see what we can see. This is where all the fun happens, right? So here is the ladder to the bunk. I was checking it out for something, so we usually store this on top of this top bunk here. Lovely little feature here. Lights. This is a shade as well as a screen and a skylight, whatever you want to use it for. So there's a screen that from that side, and then from this side you have your